and welcome back to BLOCKTV. This is Guinea Pigs, where we try out the latest apps, games, and exchanges in the crypto sphere. Well, last week we tried out Binance. This week we're trying out Kraken. Yes, release the Kraken. It's the Kraken exchange. Now, Kraken is the 54th ranked exchange in volume according to CoinMarketCap's adjusted ratings, with $55 million worth of volume traded every day. It was founded by Jesse Powell in 2011, and it's based out of San Francisco. Now, with coming out of San Francisco brings with it US regulations. Now, that's a good thing because, compared to other exchanges that are, out of the country, I'm looking at you, Quadriga CX, you kind of don't know what you're going to be getting there. Now, their claim to legitimacy is that they've been providing the crypto prices to Bloomberg's terminal for a number of years now, and that's a big thing because that means that Bloomberg is putting their name on these prices that Kraken is giving to them. And hey, if it's good enough with Bloomberg, it's good enough with me. All right, well, we have here the site itself. Now, this is the opening page. It's pretty clean. Pretty basic. I like the white and blue color scheme they got going on. Now, one of the big things, or the biggest differences between Kraken and Binance is what you could do starting off. So with Binance, it doesn't require any verification to do any basic trading. Here on Kraken, if you want to do even the most basic of trades, you need to give in some information, including your full name, email address, primary address, and phone number. For those of you who care about those things, if that's a hindrance to you, know that with Kraken, they do require a limited amount of information to even do a basic trading. That gets you up to $5,000 with that basic amount. And if you want to move up to withdrawals of $500,000 worth of Bitcoin and $100,000 worth of fiat, if you want to take out any fiat, you have to use a government-issued ID, proof of residence, as well as occupation, and some other AML and KYC requirements, because they do have onboarding and offboarding with fiat, where Binance doesn't have that. Where Binance only deals with crypto and there is no fiat. Kraken does allow the fiat. So it's a pro and con here. It does make it easier and it does offer that onboarding, but at the same time, it does have to deal with that AML and KYC regulations. Now, going back to the site itself, so once again, also comparing it with Binance. Binance had all sorts of things like the Academy, as well as where you can get paid to learn things, as well as our fundraising. Here, Kraken is strictly trading. You have the trade here. We could place your orders, market orders, limit orders. And another thing to note is that Kraken is available in the US as well as certain parts of Europe. It's not available where I am. So it's another thing to take note where you can't use it everywhere. Now, another interesting thing is when we come to the fees. Binance is the market leader, and I have no connection with Binance. I have an account with both Kraken and Binance, but the reason that I believe that Binance pulls away is when it comes to fees. They especially with Kraken, they kind of clear the board here. So this is Binance's trading fees, and so Binance for market making, they charge only 0.1%, whereas Kraken charges 0.16%. Now, Binance also, if you use their token, that gets knocked down to 0.075% compared to Kraken's 0.16%. That's half. Binance is charging half, or half of what Kraken is charging for the making. For the taking, it's even more. Market taking, Kraken actually does take 0.26%, whereas Binance takes also still 0.1%. And once again, if you're using their Binance coins, 0.075%. So there on the taking percentage, it's 3.5 times cheaper on Binance for the taking than is on Kraken. And then going to withdrawals, if you want to take out Bitcoin or fiat, so fiat you're able to take on Kraken, and here they do have certain withdrawal fees as well. Now, the difference here is that on Kraken, the minimum for taking out Bitcoin is 0.0005 Bitcoin, as well as Binance. So the same there. Withdrawal fees, though, on Kraken, it's 0.005 Bitcoin, and on Binance, it's only 0.002 on Binance. So now you're probably thinking to yourself, well, wait a second, Binance seems so much cheaper, why don't I always use Binance? Now, the thing to note is that Binance is based in Malta and in Bermuda, two places that are kind of crypto havens, and Kraken is regulated in USA. So while Binance might be cheaper, they kind of, the places they're regulated, they kind of could do whatever they want. So if in terms of feeling secure and up to date with the regulations, you are getting that better security with Kraken in terms of regulations. And especially nowadays when there's all those claims of fake trading volumes, as well as all types of shady business, I would feel a little bit more comfortable dealing with the regulations of Kraken. Now, some are saying that, at this point in the market, it is worthwhile and exchanges do have a good enough incentive, especially when you're dealing with big numbers like Binance and Kraken, that it's worth it for them to deal honestly. But, just so you know, Kraken is regulated in America, whereas Binance is regulated in Bermuda and Malta, which, a little more of a free-for-all. Back to the trading platform. Like I said, listen, Kraken is one of the biggest ones in America for a reason. It's very user-friendly and pretty intuitive. Like I said, there's none of those thrills that Binance has. They also do have their Kraken Pro, which gives you some more charts and graphs and more in-depth tools if you want to use them. All in all, it's a pretty good exchange. It provides different things when compared to Binance. If you're in America, you could use the Kraken as an onboarding, and then you could shift your money for more cheaper trades into Binance if you feel comfortable with the regulations. And next up, I'm going to be checking out Coinbase, which is one of the biggest competitors to Kraken in the United States. And I think there will be a more apt comparison dealing with those two US regulated exchanges. I think there will be much more interesting to see the more minute differences between those two exchanges. But like I said, if you're in the US, Kraken is a good choice. It is reliable. It's been around since 2011. It was founded, 2013 it was launched. They mostly stayed out of trouble. They do listen to their customers when making decisions. Most importantly, recently with the delisting of BSV, while Binance went ahead and delisted straight away because CZ said so, Kraken actually did put out a poll to their users, and 71% did say delist. Only then they delisted. So that's something to keep in mind. I would feel comfortable, but like always, use exchanges at your own risk. I'm more of a not your keys, not your crypto type of guy. But that was all it for Kraken. Make sure to check us out next time. We'll be doing Coinbase and continuing along with our exchanges. And make sure to check us out if you feel that you want us to pick a particular exchange or app here on Guinea Pigs. Make sure to let us know on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Have a good day.